Thank you. I said this? Okay, you really maybe got me. I look at all those cars and I go, was I even in that many projects? I guess I'm pretty old now. Okay. I never hit her. That's not me. I'm actually a pretty meek guy. She hit me though, packed a wallop. I said this? Yes, I did say this with like a mustache on. Yes, Jeff Galooly and I, Tonya. Yeah.
I never hit her. That's not me. I'm actually a pretty meek guy.
Well, I went to Portland, all the locations where they went on a date, where they grew up, where they lived, anything I could find where they actually were. I actually sat in the diner at the table, from what I understand, of where him and Sean, who's played by Paul Walter Hauser, devised this whole plan. Margot was so committed. It was incredible even how much of the skating that she did. And again, we didn't have a lot of time to shoot, but I felt that she was incredibly courageous and very committed towards really making sure that she honored Tonya's experience, and particularly the amount of pain that Tonya carried from the sentencing that was given to her to never, ever be part of the sport again. I love how you slipped that to me, like, I can't afford a waterbed? Well, a waterbed would be like the 80s or the 90s, wouldn't it? A hot tub time machine? No, I can't afford a waterbed. Wow. There's only one man that wanted a waterbed. Tommy Lee, of course. That took a minute. I can't afford a waterbed? Every time I start down one of these paths, I'm usually convinced that it's a mistake and that it's not going to turn out well. I was surprised about how much I didn't know and how much people didn't know, because whenever somebody came up to me and said, oh, you know, I saw the show, I just didn't know, they didn't had nothing to do with it and all this stuff. He's a very specific guy. He's got a specific energy, and I don't have a tattoo on my body. I don't play the drums. I like being challenged. I like being scared, and I like being told that you can't do it. Okay. Who the hell is Bucky? The Winter Soldier. Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Who the hell is Bucky?
He's always evolving, you know, like the rest of us, I guess. And that's kind of the fun with him now in this new film, because he's surrounded by a very degenerate crew of antagonists. They're not entirely different from him, I guess, in some ways. How am I ever supposed to do anything important if nobody helps me? Sounds like a dramatic movie or something. I don't know. Could this have been Political Animals? No way!
How am I ever supposed to do anything important if nobody ever helps me?
T.J. Hammond was written really specifically. He just wanted to be heard. He wanted somebody to listen to him and to give him a shot. I think we can all kind of relate to that in one way or another. I felt a kinship with that character in a lot of ways, because I felt he was always trying to do the right thing, and he just didn't have the tools to do it. My job, I think, is largely to understand the human being that is underneath all the craziness. And when you do that, at some point you have to kind of put your own moral compass aside and go in there neutral.
Yes, hello, Judy. This is Donald Trump. I'm very excited to talk to you.
The Apprentice is the hardest, most challenging thing I've ever done or been a part of. I carried him on my phone, probably 300 videos of him, and I would play it over and over and over and over again until I ended up memorizing a lot of things that he said. The way we were shooting was kind of like a documentary style. We could go to a scene and shoot that day, and Ali, the director, would go, why don't you talk a little bit about Trump Tower, which wouldn't be in the script. So I would have to know that it was 68 stories tall, that it had 3 sides, a waterfall 60 foot, and an awning, and Marvel from Italy. So it was like I was memorizing what was happening that year and that month, along with other things that he had said, or things I'd heard, to capture the speech patterns so that I could improvise in the moment what wasn't in the script. I wanted to be a part of something that I felt was important and was asking important questions, difficult questions, and questions maybe that we don't want to deal with.
It's going to be the finest building in the world. It's going to be a spectacular hotel. Absolutely spectacular.
I don't know if I got the voice right. I mean, here's the thing. We are dealing with someone we're seeing 24/7. Everyone's got an opinion about this person. I watched everything I could find. Anyone that's ever done an impression of him, I've seen it. It definitely helped that I was playing him when he was much younger. And if you go back and you look at those times, he sounded different. He spoke much more clearly. He actually sounded really smart and coherent. I did my best. I don't know. Some people will think that that was good, or some people will think it's shit. I don't care. Oh. It's like, I look at all those cars and I go, was I even in that many projects? I guess I'm pretty old now. I thought you were smaller. I mean, it's gotta be Captain America. The first Avenger?
I thought you were smaller.
It's wild to think about because I never would have thought I'd be playing the character for basically 15 years. I didn't grow up with comic books, so I got to kind of like fall in love with them at that time. And I was actually amazed how much comic books kind of capture a lot of things about the world in a different way. Even sometimes asking certain questions that we're not able to ask. And I guess I just appreciated that. If we do this, you gotta promise me you're not going anywhere. It's you and me, you understand? Mm-hmm. Okay, this is the film I did with the great Nicole Kidman, Destroyer. That's right. A movie that I love and I had such an incredible experience on, and I just wish more people had seen it.
You gotta promise me you're not going anywhere. It's you and me, you understand?
Working with Nicole was incredible. I remember being nervous, but then my character was nervous. The first scene in the movie when we meet at the bar was actually my first day. It was the first time I met her. And I remember how much that impacted the scene because everything just was even more real. But I was mesmerized, I was kind of nervous, and I was quickly relieved when I saw how generous of an actress she was. Wow! Ai grijă cu ea, e frumoasă foc, dar e puțin zăpăcită. Yeah, this is from 355.
Ai grijă cu ea, e frumoasă foc, dar e puțin zvăpăiată.
It's actually like the most international film I've been involved with, I think, so far, or one of the most international films in the sense that there's so many different languages being spoken in the movie. And Simon Kinberg knew of my Romanian background, and he just wanted me to get one line in there in my native tongue. How can I? You're taking all the stupid with you. Well, I think both Chris Evans and I had this line, so. I get reminded of this line quite a lot by a lot of fans, actually. That one, and I'll be with you until the end of the line. It's actually maybe not Captain America. Oh, you're right. You got. Maybe it was Civil War. Captain America: Civil War. Endgame. We've said it a few times, but yeah, Endgame. Oh, right. This was Endgame. This was the scene when it's sort of goodbye, which was also a scene I learned that we were shooting that day.
How can I? You're taking all this stupid with you.
The way that we were shooting that movie was really interesting because a lot of us didn't actually get scripts. Some people even got fake scripts. And I remember on the day I turned up, and that was the same day I learned that Anthony was going to become Captain America. And then the next scene we shot was this scene. Thank you. I know you don't want to hear this, but Mark is dead. What an interesting line. Who's Mark? Wow, okay, you really maybe got me. I don't know. Oh yeah, I went to Budapest and I got to work with Ridley Scott, and this is from The Martian. Wow, okay, cool.
I know you don't want to hear this, but
Mark is dead.
What was amazing about watching him during the process of that film, and I'll put money on it, nothing's changed, is the amount of excitement and kind of childlike energy that he had. I remember going to Video Village one time, and he was shooting that in 3D. He had like 6 different plasma, like big TVs for monitors, and it was all 6 different cameras, and he was sitting there and he had the 3D glasses, and he goes, roll them all, and he was watching like a madman, like every single take on the different cameras, and I think piecing it together in the moment, you know, it was genius. Bad news for you, sport. I'm a patriot. It's a wonder. I mean, I don't know. I've seen this show a lot. Okay, like it's a wonder any of like you read these and you go, how did I ever make it this far? like, you know, bad news for you, sport. I'm a patriot. Hot tub time machine. I was a ski instructor. Really one of the most fun I've ever had on a project.
But bad news for you, sport. I'm a patriot.
Comedy is so hard. I have tremendous respect for comedians and actors that can do comedy because I just think it's harder sometimes. You have to keep it fresh and it just keeps changing in the moment. It keeps you on your toes and then you can kind of dance with that, hopefully. I remember between John Cusack and Crispin Glover, like it was definitely in a way a dream. You've written this yourself. I know what you're doing. You can't avoid what happened forever. I feel like that's something I could probably say to you now. I know what you're doing. I really hope this is what I once said to Blake Lively. Was it Blake Lively? Yeah, wish it could have been Blair.
I know what you're doing. You can't avoid what happened forever.
Once in a while, I'm still in a coffee shop somewhere waiting in line trying to get like an iced Americano, and I'll just hear Carter Baizen behind me, and I'll just have to slowly turn around, usually amazed that people still remember that character. I always felt like I was the 6th man in that show, you know, like in the NBA, the 6th man is a very key role, but he's never in the starting 5. You know, it was amazing for me to watch what happened to that show, and good friends of mine who I'm still close with from that show, and how popular it got. And sometimes I wish I was part of the starting 5, and other times I was like, well. It was really interesting because I was walking around the city yesterday, and I've walked around the city for so many years, and I've seen these buildings over and over again, and they're still there, and yet so much has changed, you know. It's very overwhelming to kind of like sometimes return to the city for me because I get emotional kind of looking back at how quickly time has gone by, and certainly like sometimes I think about those days, not that I would go back and redo them because I think they went well, but there was something simpler about those days, you know, and it was nice to just have a job in the city and work with your friends and people that you care about. And I think that was a big takeaway for me, I think.